Oh man, Saturn and Scorpio. If you're watching this at or near the time of the making of this video, uh, what is today? January 11th, 2014. Then, my friend, you have either just gone through your Saturn return or you're about to, and that is not easy. So I just wanted to preface this info in this video with I do Saturn return readings. And that's just basically a reading focused on treating your Saturn return with awareness, with consciousness, with the ability to make the most of the challenges that are being presented. Because Saturn returns aren't easy at all. They very much force us to do away with what we don't need in our life and to focus on what we do need. So it's not easy, but it's incredibly rewarding, incredibly enriching if you align yourself with what life is trying to teach you during this time, what Saturn is trying to teach you. If you embrace it instead of running from it, or even worse, trying to fight it, it's not going to work out. But a little bit of awareness goes a long way, and if the right attitude changes everything. So if you have a nice, positive attitude, then excellent. And if I can help you with a Saturn return, I would be happy to help you out with that. So go ahead and message me for that service. But in any case. Sorry for future watchers of this being anachronistic, but this energy, Saturn and Scorpio, I have a very close loved one who has this energy, and I'll keep it anonymous because there's been a lot of challenges with this energy, especially of late, and yeah. But in any case, this energy is very interesting. Saturn, wherever it is in our chart, is providing us our greatest obstacle and our greatest reward. And with the loved one who has this energy, I've really seen both, in its lowest form, in its most undeveloped. And it's not just with my loved one I've seen this, but in several other people. Saturn and Scorpio can be fearful of emotions. Scorpio is the fixed water sign, emotional, introspective, mysterious, psychic, instinctual, very, very just water, that energy, and very subjective. And with Saturn there, it's a very curious thing what happens. These people who have water Saturns, and especially with Scorpio, I find have incredible emotional power. They're capable of amazing things when it comes to their emotions. They're capable of thoroughly going into their emotions and investigating why it is they're feeling the way that they are, and how to learn from that, to grow from that. And like I was saying before, the lower manifestation is running, straight up running from emotions, which of course never works, and especially when it's Saturn involved. Saturn is the planet of fate and karma, and so with this energy, if you have Saturn and Scorpio, you are meant to figure out your emotions, to delve deep, and it's scary. It is scary, especially with Scorpio. It's scary to find the vulnerable, sensitive sides of ourselves, and especially with Saturn being fate and karma and past lives and figuring out lessons and whatnot. With Saturn and Scorpio, you will have incredible psychic ability when it comes to figuring out your life purpose. And sometimes that figuring out that life purpose means delving into past lives in which you killed people, in which you were killed, in which life is about experience, and especially in past ages, there wasn't a lot of consciousness and awareness to really make life on Earth peaceful and harmonious and happy. There was a lot of wars, a lot of killing, a lot of rapes, a lot of horrible, horrible things that happen, molestations and whatnot. And the beautiful thing is this: we're moving out of that. We're going into an age that will forever change the world. Will forever get us to be moving on and evolving and making the world a better place for everyone. But the past is still there, and with Saturn and Scorpio, you're truly gifted in so many levels when it comes to deep emotional intuitiveness, intuition, and instinct, knowing things, and knowing how to heal. That's the best gift that this placement has to offer, and I've seen it in my loved one who has this. I've seen him run from his emotions. For so long he ran from his emotions, and it was as if he had just turned them off. Because I think that was the easy thing to do. But it caught up with him. It always does. Running from anything, let alone our emotions, let alone when you have Saturn and Scorpio, it just doesn't work. You gotta face it. Even if it's scary, even if you're trembling, you gotta just face it and do your best. And otherwise, you're never gonna resolve it, And resolving it robs it all of its power. It gives you the power. It empowers you. It makes you full of joy and free of fear. And with this energy, with Saturn and Scorpio, you gotta embrace that. It's an inevitability, really. You have to face your emotions at your own pace. Saturn works patiently. It takes 30 years for Saturn to have its return. It's an outer planet. It's very far out there. And so, go at your own pace. Take your time. Delve into your emotions as you need to. But it's very important to keep a hawk eye on your emotions and make sure you're not acting from your subconscious. You're not being ruled by hidden fears and hidden desires and hidden whatever when it comes to your emotions. It's really important that you delve into that. I find that with Saturn and the water signs, past life regressions are incredibly helpful, as are any other hypnotized methods, or any methods of losing the conscious self and going into the subconscious self. Dreams are incredibly important and powerful for the Saturn and water signs. Most of all for Pisces, so I wouldn't necessarily say that that's your guys's main avenue of self-exploration. I think meditation is your guys's. I think learning honestly through sex. Scorpio is a very sexual sign, one of the most sexual signs. And I think that you actually learn a lot, certainly for my loved one with this energy, you learn a lot with sexual experience, and you heal a lot with that as well. And a lot of fate is involved with that, from past lives to just resolution of emotional complexes. And yeah, so follow whatever method of delving into your emotions appeals to you most, whatever works for you. But it's really important that you do it, truly, because the person that runs from their emotions never truly escapes them. It's impossible to escape any aspect of ourselves. We are who we are. And that's a beautiful thing. But when we're taught, or when we think that we have to run from an aspect of ourselves, it's very destructive. And it's still there, and it still is influencing us. It's just in a very subverted, negative way. And so with this energy of Saturn and Scorpio, I've seen it manifest, unfortunately, as the person with this energy is running from their emotion. They were being dominated by it. They were acting in very lower order Scorpio energy, stuff that goes back for past lives and tons of eons of bad habit, which is basically acting very selfishly, acting very maliciously, acting very secretively, and feeling justified in doing so, because of, well, they hurt me, or I felt this, and it's all out of pain and fear, and then that's projected on the other person. It's very important, again, to delve into your emotions and to have self-understanding and awareness. And that's, you reach, new heights and new levels of solidity and stability in your self-awareness naturally as a human being. But it's an ever-continuing quest. There's always new realms to discover in ourselves. We're infinite inside, just as everything's infinite outside. And so it's important to constantly be delving into the emotions and constantly be growing and figuring yourself out and transforming. That's a huge thing for Scorpio. And the greatest gift that this energy has to offer, and I've seen it in my loved one, I'm so happy to say, is transformation over time. Especially since Saturn's involved. Saturn, again, is very patient energy. It takes a long, long, long time for Saturn energies to develop and to mature. Saturn is our greatest challenge. And to have Saturn in Scorpio means to be truly challenged by transformation, Even if you could go a couple years with not delving into your emotions, eventually you'll have this huge overhaul and you'll be forced to transform. Hell, my loved one just had they are having actually their Saturn return. And I saw it, where it was just this fate slamming them down to the ground and saying, learn this, learn this, learn this. Something that they're making progress, truly. So that's good. and it does, again, it gets easier with time, and also in this particular day and age, you know, we're going into the Aquarian age more and more. I was just talking with my friend Teresa yesterday how the current energies of the Grand Cross, again, sorry to be anachronistic, future viewers, but as of right now in 2014, we're making huge steps forward and huge strides, and so there's so much evolutionary potential for all of us, you know, and all you really got to do is just embrace awareness, embrace consciousness, embrace who you are, realize that you are co-creating along with the universe, that you are the universe, realize that you have all the power you ever need. There's no need to hold power over other people. You just got to embrace who you are fully and enjoy and learn and continue to grow and do all those things. And that's what Saturn returns are for, truly. And I've seen it with my loved one. Is it strips away that which no longer serves you. And in you know, his case, in recent years, he's been ridiculously low level of Saturn and Scorpio of sex, just wasting so much money in sexual exploits. Not prostitution, but just traveling around for sex, just sex, you know. And I mean, we've talked about it, and there is a healing element. Like I said, there is that kind of fate and sex tied together with this energy, but there's also very much the lower order of just being consumed by lower desires. You know, sex is awesome, but I mean, let's have real emotion involved, you know. Let's not just, alright, thanks, wham bam, thank you, man, you know. It's really important with Saturn and Scorpio to have an emotional connection, even if it's scary, especially if it's scary. Okay, well, I have to clarify, if it's a good scary, there's bad scary, like crazy violent, you know, people and whatever. Okay, there's, that person needs to figure out their psychological mindset. I don't need to get involved with that, you know, or if I can help, beautiful, but I can't do it for them. You know. But it is challenging with Saturn and Scorpio to be vulnerable, you know, in any you know, arena, not just sex life, but especially just talking about past hurts and past pains, and they relive it. And so that's why I think it's so appealing to run. I think for all the Saturn and waters signs, but especially Saturn and Scorpio, because it can be so all-consuming, those emotional memories and those emotions in general, that running seems like the only option. So it's important to face those fears. And again, once you do, then you tap into this incredible power within yourself, this incredible ability to regenerate and to heal. And because Saturn's involved, your ability to truly know your purpose here, to be a warrior of fate. Scorpio's warrior and Saturn is fate and time and karma and all that. And so you are truly in your presence. You're in your own being. When you face your emotions and you find all this power and strength that was always inside, but it was hidden and it was diluted by the fear and the pain. It's very important to heal that. I think that's why talking in therapy is a great solution for this sign. I wouldn't say it's the best. I mean, it helps, but I mean, Scorpio is a lot less verbal and a lot more into emotional and feeling. And so I think that's why past life regressions work so well for these people. And just delving into their emotions and really getting into the nitty-gritty and the, you know, really intense feelings. But yeah, my loved one with this energy, they've just gotten more and more emotionally wise with time. They've faced a lot of challenges, a lot of pain, certainly, and they've really grown wise and mature. And even with, you know, some of the challenges, like the wasting thousands on plane tickets for sex, they've really grown, and it's been really beautiful and a privilege for me to see and to have that energy and that loved one in my life. And, you know, again, the warrior of fate. This is an incredible energy. When you're in touch with your emotions, you are truly a warrior for your loved ones as well. Because you just know what your priorities are. You know why you're here, and love is why we're all really here. I mean, to grow and to learn and have fun, sure, but to share love, to be love. So, the more you face your inner demons, the more you can express your love to both yourself and others. In the case of my loved one, his dad was heavily Scorpio, moon in Scorpio actually, and part of the Saturnian resonance, of this energy of this planet in our lives, is our foundation. Moon is more our mother, our emotional kind of, I mean, not to pigeonhole, but kind of basically the more emotional figure, our more emotional parental figure in our lives. And Saturn is more our father. I mean, those roles could easily switch, but in the case of my loved one, Saturn was definitely his dad, and his dad was in the RAF during World War II, in the Royal Air Force, and a very quiet person, a very went through a lot of challenges himself, and he definitely was kind of distant towards my loved one, and I think that promoted a lot of distance in his life, a lot of emotional controlling. Again, Saturn is the planet of restriction as well, and Scorpio being emotions, there was a lot of habits being taught of control your emotions, suffocate them, stifle them, and of course that's very unhealthy, no matter what your energies are, but especially with Saturn and Scorpio, because those emotions, if anything, need to be let out, even if it's scary sometimes how much emotion there is. It's important to explore that, even if it's too much at times. At least then you learn that it's too much and you can deal with it. But when they're just stifled completely, it's just not a good situation. And so, I'd love to hear about your experiences. If you have this energy, or if a loved one has this energy, what was their childhood like? Was it the father figure who had scorpionic energies? Was it the mother who was very Saturnian, and acted in that role? Again, not to pigeonhole any gender into any specific roles, but this is just how it seems to play out, looking at the chart and whatnot. So I'd love to hear your experiences with this energy and your childhood and whatnot. So the last element of Saturn is, like I was saying, restriction. And in the case of this energy, a good sign that things aren't right in your life, that things aren't balanced and healthy, is that you're having restriction either with your excretion system or your reproductive organs, basically. And if there's any kind of restriction or any kind of just frustration in your life that of trying to move forward, to try and progress as a soul, as a human being, any times in your life when Saturn isn't quite working out, when you feel like you're not doing what you're meant to be doing, if you feel like you're not really contributing to the world, if you feel like stability and solidity are really hard to find in your life, that's a pretty good indication of those things. If you feel restriction, in your basically large colon, asshole, gonads, and whatnot. So if that's restricted, it's a pretty good sign that something needs to be figured out, and especially of an emotional nature. It's really important to, again, delve into your emotions. You have so much more power and strength than you can even imagine. You just gotta face it, and you gotta figure out how to access that power and strength, and what's robbing you emotionally from accessing all that. So, again, in the making of this video, it is Saturn in Scorpio right now, and I've had fun with this transit of delving into emotions. That's the cool thing about astrology is you study other people's energies, but it's ultimately affects you as well. Those transits come back around, and it's been a really nice time to explore this energy. I've definitely delved into my emotions far more than I ever have before. It's definitely been challenging, but it's been incredibly rewarding too, and a lot of transformation and rebirth. I didn't use that word, I should have. Rebirth is a huge keyword for this energy. Yeah, but I've really enjoyed this time, and it's been really healing and just very much regenerative, and some of the best things that this energy has to offer. So I really wish you the very best emotions in life, and the strength to face the challenging emotions and to find the beautiful parts of those emotions. And those are also the best emotions too. Shows that we can feel. And yeah. Best of luck with your Saturn return, my friend. Truly. Namaste. And don't worry, Saturn returns are big and scary, but they're really not anything to be afraid of. You just gotta get in tune with what the universe is trying to teach you, what you are trying to teach you.